Hi, Mick McQuaid here. I'd like to welcome you to iste782 Visual Analytics and give you a little bit of an overview of the course, which I suppose could be broken into about 4 parts. The first part is today. And in fact, I should actually, before I tell you about the 4 parts, I should mention to you that this course is compressed. So this course will take place over 7 weeks, although you will receive the same credit as you would for a 14-week course. So the course is going to be quite compressed, and there's going to be a lot for you to do during the next 7 weeks. You'll have to get started very quickly because I've arranged the course, I've sort of structured the course in a way that's a little bit the opposite of a lot of data visualization courses. It would be typical in data visualization courses for you to first see and then think and then do. And we're going to start off by doing. So you're going to be a little bit mystified for a while about what's going on. What we're going to do at the beginning is actually create some data visualizations using a software package called Tableau. We're going to do that today. And we're going to use a data set that is available from Tableau called the Global Superstore data. And we're going to create these data visualizations that in Tableau's parlance constitute something called story points. So we're going to create a sort of a narrative, sort of a slideshow of these story points about this Global Superstore data. We're going to do that in a little workshop today. And then what I want you to do is go out and find your own data set, and within the next week and a half create your own set of story points that will closely mirror what we've done, but will be with your own data, so it'll look different. It can't help but look different. So that's a tall order. That's a lot for you to do very early on, and it may puzzle you a little bit. Some of the things that you're doing won't be clearly motivated at first. So that brings us to the second part of the course, which is about theory. So after today, we'll start talking about theory, and we'll basically talk about 3 theories. The first one is from a French cartographer named Jacques Bertin, and Bertin lived to be over 100 years old, and he did a lot of his work before the age of widespread computing. So consequently, he relied a lot on print technologies and paper, and his theory, although it's timeless, does reflect that influence a lot. So some aspects of his theory are less applicable to us than I would like them to be. So then we're going to move ahead in time to a theory called the grammar of graphics from a scholar and software developer named Leland Wilkinson. Wilkinson wrote a book called The Grammar of Graphics about this, and we'll discuss that. Then third, we'll discuss a theory called the layered grammar of graphics by another theoretician and software developer combo named Hadley Wickham. And so that will bring us, Wickham developed the software that we'll use for the next part of the course. So that brings us to the third part of the course, which is using the R programming language. And we'll use, in particular, some packages developed by Hadley Wickham and others in the R programming language to do data visualizations and to do a lot of the ancillary work around data visualizations. Then in the very last part of the course, it'll be the very last day of the course, we'll go over some other ideas about data visualization and look at some pretty pictures, as well as some not so pretty pictures of data visualizations that didn't quite make it, and some lighter takes on theory of data visualization at that time. So there are basically these 4 parts: Tableau today, then some theory, then a bunch in R, and then kind of a little bit of a survey of the landscape. So that's really very different from what I think is normal, and part of the reason that I'm doing that is because we're compressed into 7 weeks. So you don't have much time, and you need practice, you need time for exercises. So I'm going to start with what I might wait until midway through the semester with, which is doing the actual software. So expect to be a little bit puzzled, a little bit mystified. Don't worry too much about that, because I think things will become really clear for you at the end. And I think it will make you a stronger analyst. And that's really the main goal here, is to make you a stronger analyst. To that end, I'd like to ask you to do 6 homework assignments. So the first one I've already talked about. That's this Tableau thing where you're going to come up with story points in your own data set. The other 5 are all using the R programming language. So I should tell you at the outset that I don't expect you to already know the R programming language. I expect you to have programmed. You have to have taken at least one object-oriented programming class, just to get into the program. And if you want to be a data analyst, if you want to do data analytics, if you want to be a data scientist, you have to do programming. So it'll be useful for you to do more programming this semester than perhaps you've done before, but you need to have done some. Don't take this your first semester if you haven't done programming and you haven't taken the bridge course in object-oriented programming. R is different. It's not at all like Java, which is the currently, as I'm recording this, the bridge course that we have in object-oriented programming uses Java. So this is quite different, but it is an object-oriented programming language. And it's not too hard. It's conceptually very rich. And so you can make it hard. You can get into it in great detail. And let's say that you already know R and you're a little bit disappointed by my saying that this is going to be an introductory level journey into R. If you do already know R, you should just get in touch with me, because there is a lot more that you can do that's not going to be required of the course, but that you could do as part of the course to improve your R programming skills, and that you could go deeper than what is required for the course, and what you'll see in all the videos for the course, and I can work with you on that. So let me know if you want to go beyond what we're planning to do. My general plan is to be introducing people to the R programming language. So so don't be afraid if you want to do more than that. That's about it. That's about all that I have to talk about. Oh, one thing I would like to say about the homework. So the theoreticians that I'm going to discuss with you pretty much all have the idea that data visualization is a bigger process than making pretty pictures. So there is a lot of data cleaning, data manipulation, exploratory data analysis, some of it using data visualization, and some communication of results. So there's a lengthy process around data visualization, and quite a lot of what I want you to do is to do that. So if you came to the course just hoping to make pretty pictures and look at pretty pictures, I'm afraid you're in for a little bit of a surprise. But I hope it'll be a pleasant surprise. I hope that you will agree with me by the end of the course that this is making you a stronger analyst rather than a flashier analyst to do it this way. Okay, so that's pretty much all I have to say for now. The next video is about Tableau, and I hope that you'll look forward to that as I do. And thank you very much for your attention.